Welcome to the NCAA Women's Selection Special.
6-seeded Colorado Buffaloes will take on number 11 Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
And Colorado is going to the Sweet 16 for the first time in 20 years.
Well, there's the announcement 2 weeks ago. It seems like forever ago the Buffaloes were in the NCAA tournament. Now they're 2 wins in on the way to the Sweet 16. She's got the shower. I bet that smile hasn't left your face now for about
Truly, I mean, I feel like my cheeks are getting sore. It's been pretty exciting indeed.
Can you, in the middle of a tournament like this, Jack, because it's just, it never stops, right? You win a ball game, the next one's on top of it. You know, the next road trip in this case. Can you even enjoy what's happening right now, or are you just kind of nose to the grindstone?
Yeah, I mean, we enjoyed it that night. I think I stayed up till about 4 a.m. responding to messages and scrolling through Twitter and seeing all the excitement and photos and stuff. But it's been a grind ever since, just trying to focus on Iowa, focus on your next opponent. What do we need to do to be ready? And we're just moving and shaking.
I was just telling her, I'm at home watching that game down in North Carolina against Duke. My wife is not a sports fan, but she is just up and down like crazy. I think every Buff fan was, because it was such an up and down game. Hard fought game. You knew it was going to be against Duke.
Yeah, I mean, two of the better defensive teams in the country, I think, in us and Duke. I don't know that they'd lost maybe one game on their home floor all year. Very veteran-laden group, a lot of good transfers. So we knew, I mean, we started hot, right? 15-2 or 15-3, but we knew it wasn't going to just roll like that, you know, for 40 minutes. So I love how our team just really dug in when they made a run, and very exciting game down the stretch.
I thought, you talk about your team being a great defensive team. I thought there were so many plays defensively, you know, and coaches all the time talk about defense wins. A lot of times fans don't believe it. It's true, though.
It is absolutely true. And honestly, they almost won, you know, with defense.
Yes.
But yeah, our team loves defense. Like, we believe that we're good. We trust our defense. We trust each other. And I think when the game is on the line, we believe in our ability to get stops, which is really cool.
You've got big time players. Jalen Sharon, we've known as a big time player. She made some huge plays late in regulation to force that game to overtime.
Yeah, offensively and defensively. And the pressure that we were seeing full court for 40 minutes. I told our point guards, I said, you two, you're unpressable. Go out there and prove it, you know. But that's hard. Sometimes that's easier said than done when you're going against, and they play 10 players, 20 minutes. So they're just running in fresh athletes, you know, to pick you up and make you work. But yeah, she and Kendall, to handle the pressure, were great.
It's so easy when you're in a tournament setting like this, especially when you get out of that first week and you get to the Sweet 16. That's an enormous step. There's great celebration. What's your message to your team after that? Like, the job's not done?
Yeah. And I think, you know, a lot of people have said, well, how's this year going to be different than last year? You know, because we went to the tournament but lost in the first round. Our entire approach has been so laser focused on what do we need to do to be successful. And so I think that works, you know, for this, going from the first weekend to the next round. Same thing, laser focused. How do we beat Iowa? Nothing else matters. You know what I mean? Like, just focusing on what do we need to do to win. And so I think that helps.
You know, I always said, I made a championship run years ago with Syracuse, and I always said about that run, you've got to be a very good team. You've got to be playing well at the right time. And you got to be fortunate a little bit to make it run through a tournament. Don't you?
Absolutely. Stay relatively healthy. Make sure you have good synergy. Make sure, you know, you have a group that is really pouring into each other and understands what does it look like to win. You know, for this team, it looks like everyone does their job. Everyone's very unselfish. Everyone works, you know, to make plays tough for other people, and that works for us.
This team, when you look at your squad, though, the way it's made up, you've got very good inside play. You're a very good defensive player. You've got good shooters on this team. You've got very good floor generals on this team. It's built for this kind of thing, isn't it?
I think so, and a lot of people have asked, well, how is this year's team different than last year's? And I think we just have more balance. You know, we have players that can attack your feet. We have players that can shoot the ball. We have inside presence. We have people that are committed to rebounding, and just an overall belief that we're better than people think we are. You know, and I love that mindset going into this weekend.
You also have to be able to travel from multiple time zones, don't you? I mean, the travel gets crazy this time of year.
Oh, yeah. I mean, think of, you know, it was hard. When we went out to North Carolina, you think, oh, 2 hours, no big deal. But just the late travel, and then you're up late, and then you can't sleep, so then you sleep it. I don't know. It's kind of funky. So now we're back on Mountain Time for 12 hours, and then we're leaving again. So.
What was the best message you got? You talked about answering text messages. What was the best message you got?
Oh, I had so many. You know, mostly the coolest thing for me, lots of friends and family, but so many alumni. You know, so many people that either played for us or played before we got here, just talking about how proud they are of our program and what they're doing. A lot of alums coming to Seattle to watch us play. So I think that's the coolest thing, is just the sort of the pride that the alumni are feeling.
That is something I think that gets lost a lot of times, doesn't it? I mean, you're so
Yeah.
focused on the games and this and that, but when you have great moments like this, you understand how loved this program is and your players are.
Yeah, and that's really special. You know, we had a great reunion this year with our 93 team, and we want that connection, you know, with our alumni. So being able to have, even if this is the opportunity for us to reconnect, is really cool. So we're loving that.
All right. Well, I know you and your staff, you got to, when you're in a tournament setting, you got to go crazy on, okay, the next game.
Yeah.
The Scout. Tell us about Iowa. You're going to face them on Friday.
Yeah, I mean, they're really good. I say everybody that's playing right now is really good.
There are no bad teams this time of year.
No. Iowa is very good. They score the ball as well as any team in the country, you know, numbers-wise, percentage-wise. You know, they have a lot of different weapons on the floor, so it's a hard matchup, because you want to guard this guy one way, you want to guard the other guy another way, and so, yeah, it's going to be a great game. I love the fact that they're going to bring a lot of people to the game. They travel really well. You know, we're going to travel pretty well, I think. So it's going to be a fun environment. Nothing to lose. Just play loose, have fun.
There you go. You know, I always say this time of year, you're playing with house money, right? I mean,
That's
go ahead and have a good
right,
time. And the other thing, lastly, here about your team, I think, is I've kind of observed them here this season. This is kind of a fearless team anyway.
Oh, completely. Yeah. And our players will say that. Like, we respect everyone. We appreciate good basketball that we see in our opponents, but we don't fear anybody. And that starts with our point guards. I would say Jalen and Kendall kind of lead that mantra, and it's definitely in our DNA.
Well, I do know this. There'll be a lot of black and gold in the stands. No doubt about that on Friday. Let's hope it's this black and gold that's victorious in Sweet 16. Great luck.
Thank you.
All right. Head coach J.R. Payne. She will take on the Iowa Hawkeyes on Friday in Seattle.